Market recap for Tuesday, the 9th of June 2026. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now because like the market has returned back to normal and even better, right? Like it goes to targets, it hits, you can predict the high of the day, the low of the day, everything is back to normal. And all I can say is just absolute cinema, right? This is what I've been waiting for. It's crazy. I didn't think I'd see the day again where the market is an actual market, right? It's not this I don't know random casino where a couple of tweets would just cook everything up, and you can actually find a lot of trades. They just you enter straight to GP. You can find the short, the long, whatever you want. It's there. It goes to targets. It's actually, like I said, just absolute cinema, right? So let's explain today, and this is probably my earliest recaps, right? Because I normally do the recap after the market is done. However, I took two trades today, one in Asia and now one in New York, right? Because I was about to take a third trade as well today, but he just didn't offer it to me. And it didn't offer it to me. It was a bit late because I checked on my Lucid accounts, the funded Lucid accounts. And because I didn't touch them in a while, I just couldn't care. And I just seen emails after emails, account one, account two, account three, account four. They all need trading, right? Because of the inactivity rules, right? I was not trading them. I was trading other accounts, and yeah, yeah, because like the market was just not worth it. But since Friday, and well, since last week, I can already tell like it's coming back. It's coming back slowly, and the week before it's slowly. But today, it proved it that it's like we're so back basically, right? Like this is what I've been waiting for, and like I said, for the um, the remainder of this year, just expect us to flush all the way down to all these levels, right? Like all this run up is fake, like I said in my last recap. That's what I suspected. Um, I would have never expected this to pull us back. I knew this would be a low, right? I never knew that it would pull us back this high, right? It shouldn't. It don't make no sense. And the way that it did it, the speed, the magnitude, everything just was telling me like this is cap. And that's why I mean it was tradable kinda, but it wasn't like clean. It wasn't like you know where the high of the day is. You don't know where the low of the day is gonna be. There's a lot of stop hunts and it's messy. But today I can officially say we're back in cinema mode, right? I'm about to milk the hell out of this market, and especially because I like shorts, and it seems like we're gonna. I said it seems, not 100% confident, but regardless if it's gonna be short for the rest of the year or basically whenever we get the targets that I'm looking for or whatever, it's gonna move in a sequential manner, something that makes sense, something that you can enter on. You can have like literally 10, 20 trades a day if you right. And I'm not talking revenge trading, I'm talking genuine good setups, right? Like A plus everywhere basically, depending on your models. Like I've seen five of my models today, right? I haven't seen them in 4 months. Five of my models, right, were there just today, right? And it's just sick. Anyway, I never trade Asia, and this explained Asia's trade. That's when I got the emails. I'm like, oh my god, I actually have to trade these accounts. So I'm like, tomorrow I was looking to trade. I was looking only to trade two trades, but because I did the trade today on the AM, that was not supposed to be my trade. I was gonna have the third trade, and by the time I like logged into the account and I was just checking if I actually need to trade this one, blah blah blah, the trade is kind of gone, right? It was basically a short, and yeah, I kind of missed it, right? I hoped and what I wanted. Explain this one quickly. Um, Once we pulled back into the first presented fair value gap here, this is what I wanted us to do. This exactly, but come back and then offer some sort of like 2022 model where we sweep our previous daily high, right? Monday's high, doing it again here with just a little bit. So if this candle went up just a bit more, I would be in the trade and I would have had this short first TP at London low and then this big gap. And after that, that's it. I'm done. I don't care about Asia low, which it looks like it's gonna go for it. But yeah. So let's explain the trades. What did I see? What's going on? Blah blah blah. Let's start with Asia. This is Asia, right? Um so in Asia, my target for today, well, I already seen how the market was gonna play out, right? This is our Asia 4 hour candle, right? And I'm like, okay, it seems like we want to get our previous daily high. That's number one. So that's a trade idea. That means in Asia or London, we are basically long, maybe even New York, right? However, I do expect us to make lows that we're gonna take down, which means there's a short idea. So you have two, I guess, A plus setups, right? Just ideas for the day. Why? Because going to this high is not like going to the high and coming back to all time high. No, it's going to the high and then sweeping it. So that means once you go to the high and sweep it, we're looking for shorts to whatever, London low, Asia low, whatever makes sense at the time, right? So knowing that's coming up and knowing that I got these accounts that I have to deal with to like just trade them, so they don't take away my funded accounts. I was like, all right, cool. This time and this time only, I will have an Asia trade. Why? Because it made sense at the time. Look at this current 4 hour, right? What do? We go to a SIBI above. However, we close above the main SIBI that took out the liquidity, basically, right? And we have a SIBI, a BISI in there. That's perfect. You can't ask more confluences. You don't even need more. That's it. Like I just checked at the 4 hour and I'm like, all right, cool. Now because it's a 4 hour time frame, right? Like I need to. You can't just be like, all right, cool, boom, enter. No. By the time I seen it was around here. I need to wait perfectly for the right moment where in the lower time frame it would make sense for it to be the low of the session. I am not saying the low of the day, the low of the session, right? So if we look at the 15 minutes, what do we see? Right, we see this low that initially hit this 15-minute gap, right? And I was just waiting for us to take this low, right? Because the yesterday basically we made a better structure that we're gonna come for the low. So I'm waiting for that low to be taken, and we already have taken it basically on market open, right? That's not good enough for me, right? I'm trying to have, if this is gonna be another, like if it's gonna be a genuine run, I don't really care about this, right? This could have been a trade, but it's not worth it in my eyes, right? Because this is when I start seeing it. This is when I start seeing the market, right? And I'm like, okay, we made relative equal highs. If we really wanted to go higher, we went higher here. We have a large wick, there is a reason, especially these are kind of relative equal lows. There's a reason to go and do one more sweep. Once we do that one more sweep, I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting for the structure to generate change. So it goes up, attempts it, nope, and sweeps again. How many sweeps is that? Like we're talking 1, 2, 3, and 4 sweeps. That's it. That's it. A plus on the plus plus, right? Like that's it. We're done. I'm just waiting for something to get on. And the second that we make inverse this, I guess, the area, right? Make this order block. Enter on the order block, knowing that it could, if it wanted to be slow, it could come down here. But my stop loss is at this low. I'm just allowing for this mini volume imbalance and the real initial order block if it wants to go visit it. That's it. Knowing that this trade will hit and it's probably gonna go all the way up to the, what do you call it, previous daily high, right? However, I'm not there. I'm not going to trade it, bro. I need to go to sleep. So I just took it to the guaranteed liquidity, these relative equal highs. That's it. Once it went up there to that mini gap, I close the trade. And that's all you need. That's roughly, remember, 155 points. That's it. That's all you need, right? Like I'm not I'm not taking it all the way up there. What if it wants to flush out again overnight and something, right? And I just lose out on the profits for no reason. Like the main point is just to take that, make that account active, right? So it is what it is. Coming into New York, and now I'm gonna put the lipstick on the chart. There's a lot, so let's just be mindful of what's going on. And as you can see, we came all the way down right here now to first closing our what do you call it, opening range gap, number one, and then second, hitting the liquidity from PM yesterday. You can see it's running through. However, if you do regular trading hours, like I say, it's there. You can see why, right? And I would not be surprised if it wants to go even lower after going to discounts, right? But that's it. There's no more trading for me today. The probabilities just have fallen a lot, right? So there's just no point. However, on the daily, if we look at the daily, and we actually can use the daily for once, right? We're not just going all-time high ballistic. On the daily, we have, this is technically like this, but like I'm expecting it to go up here, right? To actually to the gap, not the volume imbalance. On the ES, I'm expecting the volume imbalance, right? So if we put, let's close this. On the ES, I'm expecting the ES to go here, and that's where it's gonna make its high of the day. On the NQ, it's not specifically looking at this. Cool, this is fine, but I'm looking at this SIBI that we created, right? And I have the quadrants of it: upper quadrant, midpoint, and lower quadrant. So these are the lines, okay? So now let's explain how the market opened. And it actually opened exactly how I predicted, right? We have our previous daily high, which we have taken pre-market, but it's a minus sweep, right? Like it's not enough. And then we come again. This is what I mean by like I want to the trade, because it's a reference point. It will always come back to it if it can, you know. It's a reference point. So it goes back to that same reference point of previous daily high and starts flushing down to our initial liquidity. Okay, so once it did this, once it touched it and started going down, I was like, all right, cool. What is it gonna do? It's gonna come down here, right? I'm bearish on the day. I expect London low, by the way, like as a minimum target for today. I expect London low. However, because it did this, I expected it to go down to discount, right? Discount of what range? From London low to the high here. Let's just put discount, right? So you can see we have a perfect discount and a liquidity, right? And then after that, we can go back to a proper sweep, like engage the buyers, like let them think like, yo, nah, this is just a retracement. We're going back to all-time high, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I expected it in a fast manner, right? So I didn't expect that I would get this trade, right? Like normally you probably won't. And because in my specific rules, I have to wait till 9:40, till like the dust settles, basically, right? So when 9:40 was here, I was like, hold on, I might actually just be able to get the fast long and get out for the day. So once we come down here, if we don't close below the upper quadrant of our opening range gap, I know that's it. We're gonna go higher, right? We're still inside our first presented fair value gap. I don't not really care. I don't really care about it for discount sensitivity at midpoint or whatever. As long as we're inside it, and as long as this is my main reference point, the upper quadrant, then I'm expecting higher prices. And it doesn't do it. I'll look at the 15-second. There's an entry there. Boom, enter. Get my entry basically at the midpoint of the first presented fair value gap, and I take it all the way up to the midpoint of this 15-minute that I expected to hold, right? It's a 15-minute SIBI. And it did hold, but look where we went to, right? Look how fast we went up, and look where we closed. Very bearish. This is what I was expecting, and this was gonna be my trade idea. I had the quadrants in case it was gonna go up to them, right? And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful to the lower quadrant. What does that tell you? Bearish, bearish, bearish. And look at the respect of it. If I didn't take the long, and if I didn't, I forgot there's another account that I had to trade, then this short right here, once we invest this first gap, right? Boom, I'm in there, right? I'm so in there and I'm taking it all the way to London minimum, right? However, I was just too late to that. So I take the long all the way to the midpoint because that's just the most logical, easiest TP ever, right? You can't mess that one up. And if you wanted to stop there, it could have stopped there. So I'm not being greedy, right? Last year me would be the greedy one, right? We've already worked on that, fixed that. So anything that's logical TP, I'm taking it. I don't care, right? Like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever, right? Like the logical TP, I'm out, right? I don't care. So why this high? Because at this exact candle is when we reach our ES high, previous daily high, right? I knew it's gonna have to go up to here at least, right, to start dumping down. But like I said, I'm not here for any retracement. My trades are literally between 5 to 15 minutes max, and they're normally 100 points plus, and that's all I want. I don't care about the long trades now no more, like the ones where I have to wait for price to go to discount, then come back again, and no, I'm not doing all that. Just one clean leg. That's all I'm looking for. So that's why I take the profits. And then this is the second trade idea. By the time I start like looking at the other account, I'm like, okay, I basically missed the move. However, it could have offered a 2022 model here, basically where it goes up again or just one more sweep. However, it was too bearish and just dashed and went down. Anyway, there's many setups on the day. There's ones for London, there's ones for before. I was just looking all over the market and it's perfect. It's moving perfect, right? And now it's probably gonna just mess around here and maybe take the low. For tomorrow, my expectation is this high stays, especially that it hits the lower quadrant of the daily SIBI, and we're looking at previous daily, Monday's low, right? We're looking at Monday's low. If we do some BS and we're actually way high up tomorrow, and Tuesday's low is like some sort of good target, then I would expect Tuesday's low, and then they might extend it, or they might extend the dump on Monday's low for Thursday, right? There is a lot of scenarios that you can think about. You can easily see it now, right? It's not like I don't know, it's nothing complicated now, right? Not like before. And you can see everything that would help you back on the daily, right? Daily and the 4 hour, you can use them again, I guess, right? Like you could always use the daily and 4 hour, but I'm talking for like specific high of the day references, low of the day references, stuff like that. You can actually use the daily hour and the 4 hour, and you can trust them again to not be breached because it will go to target. It's done. There's no more dumb sweeps. There's no like sitting there for 3 hours and then we out, right? And we're clearly um pushing aggressively, right? Like we want to get to our target, and which means if you get your trades, especially in the short direction, just be like don't wait for too many confirmations, if that makes any sense. Don't wait for too many confirmations. If you think it's good enough to take, just take it, right? Because now this is a market that can offer a break even, right? So like, for example, my ideal trade for the day, once I enter this right here, right, once it goes up into this inversion and then leaves it one more candle below the midpoint of that 15, I can already put it at break even because it shouldn't go up there, right? It shouldn't, especially after the SIBI. That's it. Yeah, it's a done deal, break even. So don't be scared to take trades now if it was like before. But yeah, that's the market recap. We're probably gonna start stalling here, and there's just genuinely no point. If you already missed the trades for today, I can see one that would form at the lunch, but that's about it. But That's it. I'm glad we're back. But yeah, that is a long recap, actually, 20 minutes. So let me just close it down here. So, market recap. Peace out.